morning.
Peace.
We've got an exciting day today. We are on our way to the Biosphere. Two. Because the Biosphere 1 is Earth, the Earth all around us. We're all already on Biosphere 1.
Yes.
We've got some really fun facts, history, and some crazy antics that swirl around the Biosphere 2. We are on our way with our micro school. So we have our field trip that we do about once a month. We do a field trip once a month at least. And today is Biosphere 2.
Yes. Number 2.
I'm really excited. I have only been here once when I was a young adult.
I've never been here.
And I didn't even go through. A friend, we were cave exploring down in Mount Lemon near Tucson. And we saw the turnoff for Biosphere 2 on our way home. And we stopped in, my friend Kirsten and I. And they were just closing, so we didn't get to go in. But it looked pretty cool. So here we go, about 20 years later, headed to see what we're going to see. Oh, and speaking of what we just saw a roadrunner
Running across the road.
running across the road. It's picturesque. Oh, Arizona, how we love you.
Yep.
Hey, come along with us. It was weird. Let's go.
Heard you want to leave this place where we grew up. This old town, just put it all behind. Remember you and I would always find somewhere to hide when we were kids, so we could see and hear the water run. The river's gonna cry when you're gone. Won't you miss the ones you know? I'll be here, hanging on, waiting for your call. Seems like time as a wave passing by, leave a mark in our minds to turn to memories. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. River's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. River's gonna cry when you're. River's gonna cry when you're. River's gonna cry when you're gone. Hey, I was hoping you would stay, but I've always known you would go find your own way. I still see when we climbed up in those trees, 12 years old, feel the wind and watch the river run. And the sun would always shine when we sat there, you and I. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. River's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. River's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. River's gonna cry when you're. River's gonna cry when you're. River's gonna cry when you're gone. It's gonna cry, it's gonna cry. River's gonna cry when you're gone. It's gonna cry, it's gonna cry. Hey, I heard you want to leave this place where we grew up. This old town, just leave it all behind. It's gonna cry.
44 degrees when we left and very windy, so it was pretty cold. I don't think it's usually that cold. But how did you like it? Did you like it? Yay, maybe, nay.
Yay.
Yay. What about you guys in the back?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah.
2 maybes in the back, 2 yays in the front. I thought it was really interesting. I think especially if someone is interested in earth
Life.
science.
Just
Earth
life
science.
in general.
Because it has,
Because when it's humid in there.
yes, oh yes, going when it's cold is good. That's a good point, Porter, because it's really humid in there. A lot of the inside was very warm and humid.
Yeah. My favorite one was the desert one.
Was it really? It was a coastal desert.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the Sonoran desert
Like
that we live in.
I liked the whole building of the desert. I like the desert and the rainforest and beach.
So the beach was underwhelming because you're like, I had read online and I heard that there was like a coral reef and stuff,
Yeah.
but there was just a pile of rocks
With water
inside
over
of
it.
Yeah, it looked like a wave
But it was
pool.
still pretty. It was still pretty.
It was pretty. It wasn't not pretty, but
There wasn't any animals there.
yeah, there were no animals.
Well,
there were ants
The boys said that there were hummingbirds, but we didn't see any.
inside.
Yeah. I feel like there was just speakers.
Yeah, I didn't see any hummingbirds.
There
But-
was life. There was plants.
Plant life.
Yeah.
Would you choose to live in there for 2 years?
If I had the right supplies and I had oxygen.
So here, let's do a little background
Okay.
on this place.
I don't know anything about it.
Well, you should, because we've been studying it, so that says something about either your listening skills or my teaching skills.
I
Okay.
just blame Ryan to do skills.
No, you don't get to blame it on my teaching skills. So that little hoodah was built in the 70s-ish. Maybe before then. I really don't know. And it was built by a dentist who made it as an attraction or something. I don't know. I'm really not even familiar with the very beginning of it. Then the scientists bought it. They pulled in some millionaire, billionaire, I don't know, it was in the 70s. I think it was in 74. And he bought it, and then they made it into what it is today, Biosphere. So they created all the different biomes, and they wanted to do an experiment to see if we could sustain life in a closed environment like that. So I think that the end goal was like Mars.
To get to Mars.
Yeah, to live on Mars.
And it still hasn't happened yet.
No, it still hasn't happened. So,
It's going to.
but somebody told me that there was a biosphere like this in Hawaii for the same purpose. I hadn't heard of it. But honestly, I've never looked into it. Maybe we should. So, they bought this. They got this hippie guy was kind of the one that was like the driving force of it. He, I think, was like a cult leader or something.
We're just gonna call him hippie guy.
If you're listening right now, I'm sorry for calling you a hippie and a cult leader. I really don't know much about you, but feel free to comment. Let me know. All about
Comment
your
down
life.
below.
So he pushed to have these 8 scientists go into the biosphere for 2 years. Biosphere 2 for 2 years.
And he was one of those people.
He was one of them. There was also a doctor and that rich guy and some other people. And it was this worldwide phenomenon. Everyone was super excited.
Everybody knew about it.
All the people knew about it back in the 70s. So they go in there with the plants, and they started out with over 200 varieties of plants. There are now 98 remaining species of plants left alive. They knew they would have species die off while they were in there. So they went in with their plants, farm stuff, and animals, pigs, sheep, and goats.
Yes.
And they had, oh, we didn't get to go up to the library. So they had a whole living area with a library. That's the dome at the top. And full kitchen. Anyway, for 2 years, they worked on living there. And it did not go well. There was one problem after another.
Mm-hmm.
I think a big one, in my personal opinion, after having been in quarantine, was isolation.
Mm-hmm.
The isolation really made people kind of lose it. So they started fighting with each other. They also did not have enough calories to sustain themselves.
They lost 25% of their weight.
25% of their body weight.
They grew their own food, like they didn't take any food with them.
So, nutritionally, they were sustained, but calorically, they were deficient.
Mm-hmm.
The other problem is that they had infestations of bugs. Ants and cockroaches, I heard.
Uh-huh.
There's still ants.
There's still a lot of ants in there.
Mostly in the desert.
So, that was an issue. And then they ran out of oxygen, which I've heard is pretty important. So they
They had a lot of trees in there.
Yeah, they did have a lot of trees. I'm surprised. I don't know how oxygen works, quite frankly, but they didn't have enough, even though
They
they had all
explain
those
it
plants.
all on the app.
Did they really? Because I tried listening while you guys were just running around.
They explained it. I heard it.
Well, the lung part of it. Okay.
No.
So they ended up abandoning their plan after, I think it was 500 days. It was 500 something days. No, at 500 days, what they did was they opened it up and let oxygen in. But then they didn't tell anyone that they did it. They didn't tell the world. And so then when the world found out, they acted like they've been swindled. It just ended up being a mess. That was done. And then sometime later, there was another group of scientists that were a group of 6.
The earlier group was there for 2 years.
Yes. A group of, they were 8, a group of 8. The second one was a group of how many, Grace?
7.
I think it was 6.
I'm pretty sure it's 6.
And they were there for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
When was this?
That was sometime later.
When was like the thing?
In the 70s. Then, U of A, University of Arizona, bought it in 2009 and finished purchasing it in 2011. Must have taken a while.
2007.
Oh, 7? 2007?
Yeah.
You're gonna need to fact check me, people.
It was 2007. I remember because it's my birthday.
Oh. Boom. Alright. I don't know. So now we've got this huge place that they can go and do experiments, and they still run experiments on a constant basis. So if that's something that you're interested in, you ought to look into the program at U of A
I would recommend.
and see what kind of qualifications it would take for you to get in there. Go do it. Live that life dream. Help us keep this earth running. Alright. We're eating our lunch in the car because it was too cold to eat it out there. It's about an hour and a half drive
They
outside.
burned the evidence.
About an hour and a half drive outside of the East Valley. Alright, signing off for now, people. That was weird.
Peace.